man and all. So Congole, kudos team. But taking the discussion forward, let's look at Malkia Strikers. Actually, they are in Europe chasing for the world honors at the World Championship. But the script is not going to plan for Paul Bitok and his colleagues. Rocho, they lost. They were thrashed actually by Belgium. Straight sets, basically. The second loss in a row. So it means basically at the international level, it seems Malkia are not measuring up to the top in the continent.
We were careless in our serving. I watched a bit of that encounter, and I believe that more needs to be done. Our service was pathetic, even our receiving. I think the team, I don't like talking about transition as much because it's an excuse that has always been used. But I think they're going through some transition, and I don't think it's quite smooth, more so with the new players, new young players in the team. But for me, it's pathetic, for lack of a better word, because time has come that we need to win matches in the top when we are playing outside
top teams, yes.
Outside our continent. For me, Belgium could have been a good starting point for us to pick a point. Once again, I'm saying it, our serving was poor and our receiving was pathetic.
Shitera, Rocho believes we didn't do very well tactically, but we face Cameroon, who have been one of our biggest opponents in the continent. Do you think we can bounce back, and what must Bitok and the technical bench do just to get the girls firing again?
Probably we might pick something out of Cameroon because in terms of the environment, in terms of the infrastructure again, they are our equal partners, I would say. Again, our outing compared to the outing in the Olympics in Tokyo, I think the performance can clearly resonate because we have not performed well as we expected. But again, this is something that needs to be picked up by the new sports ministry to ensure that our teams that will give us the light that we will really look up to should be really embraced. Volleyball, rugby, athletics, football to some extent, because I believe we have talents in football. It's only that we don't bring it up well in as far as coaching is concerned. So to this direction that we are looking at, I would say it's a transition, as Rocho says. We are in a transition in as far as governance is concerned. The team is in a transition because our mainstays in football, I mean in that volleyball team, the likes of Washu, we have not replaced them very well. And we really need to have proper management in terms of bringing up young talent, but we still have that problem. Do we have infrastructure back in Kakamega to nurture young volleyballers from the girls' school called Cheptil, Malava, Kakamega? We don't have. So we really need to invest and call upon county governments to also embrace sports infrastructure. I think I saw it in Vihiga, is it in Vihiga County or Kwale County, where the governor did something in sports, tried to build some structure out of some fund from the county government. So as we talk to the national government, we also need to talk to the county governments that the ministers, the CECs in charge of sports, culture, they are not just in charge of culture, which is something that comes out in every year. We've seen some cultural events in Vihiga. We've seen some cultural event in Turkana. They should also focus on sports. Let them help the national government bring up the talents from the grassroots up, because we usually tell the national team coaches that they should travel and
scout for talent
at the national school events. But we have talents that are at the grassroots, students or young talents who have not gone to school, but they play some sports in the villages. We really need to bring up that culture of sports from the county governments up to the national government. And actually, it begins by getting the right men and women for those dockets. And actually, last week, the county governments were sworn in, the MCA's election of speakers, and basically that should culminate in the governors appointing their ministers, CCs, and we hope the right men and women will be given over to lead sports. And finally, onto the international scene. This was a FIFA International Week, and several teams were in action